Hello there, 8:45. I'm Steve Dixon with all the news and sport in the next 15 minutes. Top stories tonight. 2 people have been admitted to a hospital in Scotland displaying mild flu-like symptoms after returning from Mexico, and more than 80 people have died from swine flu. Let's just bring you a breaking line we're getting from the CDC, the Centre for Disease Control in the United States, talking about the seasonal flu vaccine, the jabs that many of us have at the start of the winter season, and the CDC confirming what we were expecting, really, that the flu vaccine does not protect against the new swine flu strain. What we know from the World Health Organization is that the flu as a virus is one that changes very rapidly indeed, which is why new seasonal vaccines are brought out every year. And we do know that this year's seasonal flu vaccine isn't really having any effect on swine flu, though we do know that drugs like Tamiflu do seem to be pretty effective if taken in the very early stages of swine flu. But just that confirmation from the CDC as they continue to monitor the situation. Well, tonight the United States has declared a public health emergency in the wake of this swine flu epidemic. It is planning for potential school closures.
The Department of Health and Human Services will declare today a public health emergency in the United States. That sounds more severe than really it is. This is standard operating procedure, and it allows us to free up federal, state, and local agencies and their resources for prevention and mitigation. It allows us to use medication and diagnostic tests that we might not otherwise be able to use, particularly on very young children. And it releases funds for the acquisition of additional antivirals.
Well, today the World Health Organization warned the virus could mutate into a more dangerous strain, but said the world is better prepared than ever to withstand a potential flu pandemic. But in the UK, 2 people have been admitted to hospital in Scotland with suspected cases. Ian Woods reports.
In a devout Catholic country like Mexico, it's almost unthinkable that churches should be forced to close their gates to worshippers. Football matches have also been cancelled as the Mexican authorities belatedly try to control the virus. But you can't shut down a capital city.
The metro system is still running, and the metro system in Mexico City bisects the entire city. So if this virus is as bad as what we've been told, one way that it would travel would obviously go by people going in and out of Mexico City via the metro.
In Santiago, Chile, thermographic cameras were used to scan passengers arriving on flights from Mexico to check if they had a fever. Symptoms include a temperature of more than 100 degrees, body aches and coughing. Similar equipment was deployed by Japanese officials at Narita Airport. But despite such international efforts, global travel means some foreigners have apparently come into contact with the virus. American, French, Spanish and New Zealand tourists are among those displaying symptoms, and 2 Scottish patients are also being monitored.
These 2 patients have displayed flu-like symptoms, and in light of the current situation, further tests on these patients are being carried out. The patients are in Monklands Hospital.
Influenza viruses, as a group of viruses, are just very prone to changing. They mutate easily, they evolve easily, and so, yes, it's quite possible for this virus to continue to evolve.
Passengers flying into Heathrow and Gatwick from Mexico were questioned about their health before they were allowed off the planes.
We had to wait for, 15 minutes, and then they asked us if any people had any symptoms. And the same in Mexico. We had to fill out forms about symptoms if we had, headache, any lung problems, fever. It was like a list of 12 things.
Of course, we're all concerned all of a sudden. So let's hope we haven't brought it back to the UK.
As Mexicans displaying symptoms head for their local hospitals for a checkup, other patients are checking out for fear of contracting the flu. Many have calculated that the safest place to be is at home and are stocking up on supplies while they isolate themselves from their neighbours. Ian Woods, Sky News.